I'm being accused of a hit and run I didn't commit, and my ex is trying to send me to prison. I need serious advice because my life just got destroyed in 6 hours. I'm a mechanical engineer in Boise. I drive a Toyota Tacoma, and yeah, I'm that guy with a 4-camera dashcam setup. My buddies make fun of me for it, but I like documentation. It's just how my brain works. I've always been the type to keep receipts, save emails, maintain logs. Call it paranoid, but in engineering you learn that data doesn't lie. I dated Brittany for about a year and change. We were different people. She was spontaneous and social. I was more of a planner, but it worked for a while. That whole opposites attract thing. We broke up 2 weeks ago. Nothing dramatic, just realized we wanted different things. It was amicable, or so I thought. Last night at 11 p.m. my phone exploded with calls. Numbers I didn't recognize. Then the Boise PD called saying I needed to come to the station first thing the next day to discuss an incident involving your vehicle. The detective wouldn't give details, just said I should bring a lawyer. I didn't sleep. At all. This morning at the station with my lawyer, they dropped the bomb. My Tacoma was in a serious accident 2 weeks ago. A 68-year-old woman, Linda Stewart, is hospitalized with a broken leg, fractured ribs, and a concussion. The accident happened around 1 a.m. on a back road east of town. According to the police report, I was driving. I felt like I was in a nightmare. I told them I was home that night asleep. But here's the real kicker. Brittany filed the report. She claims she was a passenger in my truck, that I was street racing, caused the accident, and fled the scene in a panic. She told them I'd been drinking, that I forced her to initially lie to protect me, but she couldn't live with the guilt anymore and came forward. I was sitting there absolutely floored. The detective was looking at me like I was scum. My lawyer was frantically taking notes. And then it clicked. 2 weeks ago, the night before she broke up with me, Brittany had asked to borrow my truck, said her car was in the shop and she needed to pick up something from a friend's place. I didn't think twice about it, gave her the keys, went to bed. The next day she came over, returned the truck, and said we needed to talk. That's when she broke up with me, said she needed space, needed to work on herself, the usual breakup lines. I was hurt but not devastated. We've been having small issues for a while. She left, I moved on with my life. Now I'm realizing she broke up with me right after the accident. She's been planning this for 3 weeks, waiting, calculating, and I had no idea. Then I remembered the dash cam. I probably sounded like a crazy person, telling them to check my dash cam footage. The detective seemed skeptical. Apparently Brittany had already told them I'd probably deleted everything. But they agreed to come to my house and examine the system. The dashcam setup, I have records on a 256 GB SD card with continuous loop recording. It keeps about 2 weeks of footage before overwriting. Lucky me. 4 cameras, forward, rear, and both sides, plus GPS metadata and timestamps on everything. It's a high-end system because, well, I'm an engineer and I like good equipment. We spent 3 hours going through the footage at my dining room table, and here's what we found. 11:47 p.m. that night, Brittany gets in my truck. She's not alone. There's another woman with her, looks like her friend Alexis. The interior camera shows them both getting in, and Brittany immediately starts adjusting the seat and mirrors. She's clearly comfortable with my truck, knows how to operate it. They drive for about 20 minutes. The GPS shows them heading toward the industrial area east of town. They meet up with 3 other cars in what looks like an empty warehouse parking lot. I can see people getting out, talking, gesturing down the road. Someone's walking around with their phone out like they're filming. They were setting up a street race. The audio picks up everything. Brittany's laughing, revving the engine. Alexis sounds uncertain, says something like, "Are you sure about this?" And Brittany goes, "Relax, I've done this before." Then someone outside the truck, sounds like a guy, yells, "First one to the overpass wins, loser buys breakfast." And then they race. The forward camera shows my truck's speedometer climbing, 60, 70, 85, eventually hitting 97 mph on a road where the posted limit is 45. The interior audio is just Alexis screaming, "Slow down." Brittany, "Slow down." And Brittany laughing and shouting back, "Chill out." I only had like 3 shots of Patron, I'm fine. 3 shots of Patron, while driving my truck at nearly 100 mph on a public road. Then comes the sound of impact. The truck swerves wildly. You can see Mrs. Stewart's silver minivan in the frame for just a split second before the collision. Everything goes chaotic. The truck fishtails. They're screaming, glass breaking, metal crunching. Then Brittany manages to get control and brings it to a stop about 100 yards down the road. The interior camera shows Brittany and Alexis just sitting there in shock for maybe 10 seconds. You can hear their breathing, really fast and panicked. Then Brittany says, oh my God, we have to go. Alexis is crying, saying they need to call 911, that someone could be hurt. But Brittany starts driving again. She says, and this is clear as day on video, no one saw the plates. We just need to get out of here. Just shut up and let me think. They arrived at Brittany's place at 1:34 a.m. The exterior camera shows Brittany getting out, walking around the truck, checking the damage. There's a huge dent in the rear quarter panel, and the taillight is completely smashed. She and Alexis are having what looks like a heated argument. The next morning, Brittany taken the truck to some shady body shop before driving to my place. Paid cash to fix the obvious damage, just enough so I wouldn't notice. There were probably still signs if I'd looked carefully, but why would I? I watched all of this with 2 detectives and my lawyer. When it finished, nobody said anything for like a full minute. Then Detective Qley, the older one, just goes, well, that's pretty definitive. They took the SD card as evidence, but not before I made 3 backup copies. My lawyer told me to stay available, but that I was clearly no longer a suspect. They were going to bring Brittany in for questioning immediately. That was 4 hours ago. I just got home. I'm shaking. I can't even process this. This woman, someone I dated for over a year, someone I trusted enough to give my truck keys to, was ready to let me go to prison for something she did while driving my truck, after lying to me about why she needed it. And the worst part, if I didn't have that dash cam, there's no way I could prove any of this. It would be her word against mine, and she has a witness in Alexis who was physically in the truck. The only evidence would be me saying I was home asleep versus her saying he was driving drunk. I would be completely screwed. I don't even know what I'm asking for here. I guess I'm just in shock and needed to tell someone. My family doesn't even know yet. I'm supposed to have dinner with my parents tomorrow, and I have absolutely no idea how to explain any of this to them. What do I even do now? Do I need to worry about her coming after me somehow? She's clearly capable of more than I thought. Edit. Holy hell, this blew up. I'm trying to read all the comments. Yes, I've already made multiple backups of the footage. Yes, my lawyer and I are working on next steps. No, I don't know yet what Brittany's full plan was with the insurance, but I'm assuming she was going to try to get money somehow. I'll update when I know more. A lot of people are asking about Mrs. Stewart. I tried calling the hospital, but they won't give me details since I'm not family, which I understand. The detective said she's stable and expected to recover. I feel absolutely horrible about this. Even though it wasn't my fault, it was still my truck that hit her. I'm going to see if there's a way I can help with her medical bills or something once this all gets sorted out. For everyone telling me to sue Brittany, yeah, that's already the plan. My lawyer is drafting everything. Update 1. Thank you for all the advice. Lawyering up and documenting everything probably saved me from making this worse. Brittany was arrested the day after I posted. Detective Qley said she lost it at the station, claiming I was driving and she was protecting me. When shown the dashcam footage, she tried claiming it was fake. Forensics analyzed everything, every timestamp, GPS coordinate, audio sample, all authentic with zero tampering. My paranoid engineer setup really came through. She was held for questioning for several hours, then released on bail later that evening. Her bail was set at $50,000, her parents posted it. So now she's out, but with strict conditions. Surrender her passport, weekly check-ins, and stay away from me. But here's where it gets wild. This wasn't a one-time thing. Police found she has a prior DUI from 5 years ago in Oregon. She never mentioned this once while we dated. Her license was suspended for 6 months after that. I had no idea. They also uncovered her involvement in a street racing scene. She and this group, including Tyler who was at the race, have been doing this for at least a year. Tyler posted a video 3 weeks ago showing my truck in the background of another race. She'd been using my truck multiple times without my knowledge. I feel like an idiot. Detective Klein told me the charges: DUI causing injury, reckless driving, illegal street racing, leaving the scene, insurance fraud, filing a false police report. The fraud is insane. Brittany contacted my insurance 2 days before going to police. She filed a claim saying Mrs. Stewart's minivan hit us while we drove normally, that the elderly driver was at fault and fled. She tried getting them to pay for truck damage and pursue Mrs. Stewart for additional damages. The claim was for $30,000. My insurance's fraud unit got involved immediately, but it blew up right in Brittany's face. Because of the dash cam, they're now going after Brittany and her insurance for Mrs. Stewart's medical bills and damages. This crosses the $10,000 felony threshold in Idaho. Speaking of Mrs. Stewart, she is recovering. I finally managed to get in touch with her. I talked to her daughter, who was incredibly kind. Her mom needs physical therapy but should fully recover. I offered to help with costs, but their lawyer advised against accepting anything directly from me. I understand. Brittany has gone off the rails. She posted rants on Facebook and Instagram about how I'm using my family's money to frame her, we're solidly middle class, and how I coerced her into street racing, and she's fighting this corruption. She also claimed she's pregnant with my child. We haven't been together in 3 weeks. This is completely fabricated and scary how committed she is to these lies. My lawyer sent a cease and desist. She responded with 50 texts over 2 days, apologetic, "Baby, I'm sorry, I was scared," threatening, "You'll regret this," and delusional, "I know you still love me." I forwarded everything to my lawyer and blocked her. She started calling from other numbers. I had to change my phone number after 12 years. She showed up at my workplace. Security escorted her out. I filed for a restraining order. Hearing is next week. I'm being subpoenaed to testify in the criminal case. The prosecutor is building a solid case with the dashcam footage as centerpiece. They want me to explain the system and verify I wasn't in the vehicle. There's also a civil case. Mrs. Stewart's family is suing Brittany for medical bills, pain and suffering, lost wages. My lawyer said I should join for truck damage and attempted fraud. I sold the Tacoma eventually. Couldn't look at it without seeing that footage of Mrs. Stewart's van getting hit. Bought a used F-150 and immediately installed an even better dashcam system, 4K, interior camera, automatic cloud backup. My friends make fun of me, but evidence saved my life. My parents know everything now. That dinner became a 3-hour conversation. Mom cried. Dad wanted to confront Brittany, which I stopped. They're supportive but shaken by how close I came to being charged. The preliminary hearing is in 3 weeks. My lawyer says this takes months to resolve. Meanwhile, I'm trying to live my life and not think about someone I cared about being willing to destroy me to save herself. People ask if I'm angry. Honestly, I'm more sad and tired, really tired. I'll update after the hearing. Thanks again, Reddit. Edit: Alexis is cooperating with the investigation. She gave a full statement and is testifying against Brittany in exchange for immunity. She's been shaken up too. The pregnancy claim can be easily verified. My lawyer has it covered. Brittany hasn't provided proof to anyone and her lawyer told her to stop talking about it. Update 2. The criminal trial was last week. 3 days. I testified on day 2, one of the most stressful experiences of my life. Quick updates. The restraining order was granted. Brittany can't come within 500 feet of me, my home or workplace. She violated it twice. Letters to my parents waiting at my gym. Both times arrested. Both times claimed misunderstanding or emergency. Judge wasn't sympathetic. Her lawyer tried getting the dashcam footage thrown out, arguing it was surveillance without her consent. Judge shot it down. It's my vehicle. Dashcams are legal. No privacy expectation while committing crimes. They brought an expert claiming the footage could be manipulated. My lawyer had the state's forensic analyst explain why that was impossible given the metadata and GPS. Their theory fell apart in real time. Alexis testified and looked destroyed, cried multiple times describing the accident. She confirmed everything: racing, Brittany's drinking, the crash, fleeing. She also testified Brittany asked her to lie repeatedly, and when she refused, Brittany threatened to claim Alexis was driving. That's why Alexis didn't go to the police right after the accident. Tyler was called to testify as well. He confirmed Brittany came to races for over a year, borrowed multiple vehicles for racing, always trying to prove she could keep up with the guys. He'd seen her drinking before races multiple times. Mrs. Stewart's daughter testified about her mother's injuries, how she went from independent, driving to church, volunteering, caring for grandkids, to needing help with basic tasks. She talked about her mom's nightmares and fear of driving at night. When I testified, the prosecutor walked through everything: our relationship, the breakup, the night she borrowed the truck. I explained the dashcam system. They played portions of footage in court. Hearing Brittany say, "I only had like 3 shots of Patron, I'm fine." While the speedometer showed 97 mph, the courtroom went silent. When the impact happened, a juror gasped. Brittany's lawyer cross-examined me, tried making it seem like I was bitter and vindictive, that I'd been planning this from the start, asked leading questions about our relationship problems in the weeks before the accident. He painted this picture of me as a controlling engineer who meticulously documents everything, who couldn't handle rejection, so I set up an elaborate scheme to destroy her life. Implied I'd tampered with the footage or even staged the accident somehow, then broke up with her to create plausible deniability. I stayed calm and told the truth. I trusted her, didn't know about the DUI, didn't know about racing, thought she needed the truck legitimately. When I found out the truth, I gave police the evidence. The prosecutor's closing focused on the camera doesn't lie. They walked through the timeline: racing, crash, fleeing, then the false report blaming me. This wasn't just a tragic accident. It was deliberate choices to endanger others, then destroy an innocent person to escape consequences. Brittany's lawyer argued she was scared, made panic mistakes, already suffered enough. Tried painting her as someone with bad judgment but not criminal intent. Jury deliberated 6 hours. I was in the hallway when the verdict came. My lawyer found me guilty on all counts: DUI causing injury, reckless driving, illegal street racing, leaving the scene, filing false report, insurance fraud, all guilty. Sentencing in 2 weeks. Prosecutor asking for 2.5 years prison, 10 years without license, 3 years probation, full restitution. Brittany's family was there, mother sobbing. Father yelling at the judge that it was unfair, that I had money and connections. Judge warned him about contempt. I felt nothing. Thought I'd feel relieved, just empty. The civil case moves forward. Between medical bills, vehicle replacement, pain and suffering, and fraud, we're looking at over $160,000. Brittany doesn't have it. Her insurance is fighting. This takes years. My insurance rates aren't going up since I wasn't at fault. Small mercies. People around town know now. Local news covered it. My name was in the paper. Coworkers approach with careful sympathy. I'm the guy whose crazy ex tried to frame him. It's weird. That's not exactly the kind of reputation anyone wants to be stuck with. This woman was someone I used to care about, someone I let into my life. And she was willing to send me to prison to save herself. How do you come back from that? Am I dating again? Absolutely not. Nowhere near ready. Don't know if I'll ever trust someone like that again. For now, I'm focused on getting through each day. Drive my new truck with its dash cam. Try not to think about what could have happened. I'll update after sentencing. Thanks for being here, Reddit. Edit: No, I haven't heard from Brittany since the restraining order. Her lawyer asked if I'd write a letter to the judge requesting leniency. I declined. My lawyer said that was right. Final update: this is probably my last update. I need to move on. Sentencing happened last week. Brittany got 2.5 years in state prison, 10 years without a license, 3 years supervised probation after release. She has to pay full restitution, $52,000 to Mrs. Stewart, $93,000 to insurance companies, $18,000 to me. She doesn't have that money. Payment plan stretches out a decade or more. My lawyer says expect maybe a third of what I'm owed. I don't care about the money anymore. I just want it over. At sentencing, Brittany finally apologized to Mrs. Stewart, but it felt performative. She cried about terrible choices and taking full responsibility, hollow after fighting charges through trial. She didn't apologize to me, didn't even look at me. Mrs. Stewart's daughter spoke about her mother's ongoing nightmares and anxiety around driving. She looked at Brittany and said, "You could have killed my mother, then tried to destroy an innocent man's life. I hope you think about that every day." The judge said the dashcam showed callous disregard for human life, followed by calculated lies and manipulation. He said Brittany's post-accident actions were more disturbing than the accident itself, showing willingness to sacrifice another person's freedom. When the sentence was read, Brittany's mother started screaming. Security had to escort her out. Brittany just stared at the table, her head hung low. I left feeling tired. Not happy, not satisfied, just tired. The civil case settled 2 days ago. Brittany's insurance agreed to pay out rather than go to trial. Mrs. Stewart gets medical bills covered plus substantial settlement. I'm compensated for truck and legal costs. Everyone except Brittany is made whole. She'll be uninsurable for life. Hard to find employment with felony DUI and fraud. I should probably feel bad, but I can't. Life is getting back to normal. Though I'm still working on trusting people again, small things like lending tools or accepting social invitations without looking for angles. My parents want me home for a while, but I'm 34, so that's not happening, though I do have dinner with them weekly now. I joined a hiking group. Gets me outdoors, gives me focus besides work. Met decent people who don't know about Brittany. I'm just Ryan, the guy with trail maintenance opinions. The F-150 works great. New dashcam uploads to cloud in real time. My friends still make fun of me, but they get it now. I saw Mrs. Stewart at a coffee shop last week with her daughter and grandkids. She recognized me and came over, thanked me for the dashcam and cooperating, said she was glad justice was served. Her granddaughter made me a drawing, a truck with "Thank you for telling the truth" in crayon. It's now on my fridge. Mrs. Stewart said she's better physically, though she hasn't driven at night since the accident. She's back at the library volunteering. Her daughter's back at work. They're moving forward. I told her I was sorry. She patted my hand. Some people show you who they really are when they think no one's watching. Your cameras were watching. That's not luck, that's wisdom. I think about that a lot. Trust, but verify has become my philosophy. I want to believe in people, but I understand now that evidence matters. Documentation matters. Protecting yourself isn't paranoia, it's realistic. I'm trying to find balance. Be smart, but don't be so guarded I never let anyone in. Trust, but verify. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Some days are better than others. I don't know if I'll ever fully understand how Brittany could do this. But I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that I might never understand, and that's okay. Some people are broken in ways that hurt others. Not my job to fix or figure them out. My job is to keep moving forward. Edit. Brittany will likely serve about 80% with good behavior, around 2 years. The 10-year license suspension is mandatory, starts after release. Probation is mandatory. The street racing operation was broken up. Several people got citations and fines. Tyler also got probation. Thanks for being here, Reddit. Time to close this chapter and start a better one.